guys are always going to be looking into each other's lives. Okay, you're always going to want to keep tabs on one another, and that's just what I'm getting for this reading. Like, your masculine is keeping tabs on you, and I feel that many of you know this and you can feel this. And I think what I'm going to delve into in this reading is just that gentle reminder for many of you who may need it at this time that, hey, you're doing this damn thing on the twin flame journey. Okay, it's difficult to explain your connection to this person. I understand. Not everyone is going to understand. Not everyone is going to get it. But this message is for those of you who, you know, at the end of the day, you still feel your twin flame in your heart space. Okay, no matter what you guys have going on, this bond exists and it can't be broken. All right, all that and more coming up in this reading. Hey guys, what's going on? Twintuitive 717 here. I am back with another reading here with my psychic, the Saucy Beaver. Mega good vibes. And we're on to delve into how the masculines are feeling about you at this time, okay? So universe, please kindly deliver messages to those who are in the collective and who are tuned in for this reading. They will be drawn to the title. Whoever's listening in, can we please provide clarity on how their masculine is feeling towards them in this twin flame journey, on the path that they're both on, you know, regardless of if they're both in different situations or not. How are they feeling in their heart space for the divine feminine? Ooh, that one jumped. I'm going to keep you. And we're going to get one more card. One more precise card. And this is for how the masculines are feeling in their heart space for you, divine feminine. Again, if you guys are just tuning in, this message is for those of you that, you know, regardless of the situation that you're in, you have a twin flame connection with this person and it can't be broken by 3D circumstances, okay? So let's find out what's going on with the masculines. We have soulmate here coming up. We also have passion, and we have the deception card. So let's see what I gather from this message here, okay? So yes, this is your soulmate. I feel really does confirm that there's a special connection here that can't be broken between you two. And I think that many of you need that clarity and that confirmation, because there's certain things that exist in the 3D and it can make us feel very discouraged from our journey at times. You know, what I think it brings about is, like, sometimes we can have very negative feelings. Although we feel this soulmate connection, this twin flame connection with this person, it's very deep. It can't be explained. You feel it in the heart space. You know, you feel their energy around you, even though they may be like in a different country or just completely at a distance. You guys haven't spoken in days, weeks, months, years. You still feel their energy very heavily with you. Okay, so that's your confirmation that, again, you guys are on this journey and you're doing this thing regardless of whatever it is that's keeping you apart. It may not manifest itself in like a physical relationship, what we're used to seeing in the 3D, but I feel like this connection between you two is just so much more than that, okay? And that's why I feel like deception here is coming out. Someone is wearing a false mask in this relationship. You know, what I feel is like both of you at times, you put on that false mask when you lose sight of the connection that you both have because of what's going on in the 3D. And from my experience, just, you know, being on the twin flame journey itself, it's like no matter what is going on, even with me on my journey, there could be conflict with me and my twin. A variety of things could be going on. We're at a distance, we haven't spoken. I don't ever use those negative experiences to confuse myself and to put myself through even more turmoil by putting on this false mask and saying, okay, you know what? You know, like, fuck the twin flame journey. I'm not a twin flame. Like, this thing was for nothing. It's like, I'm not going to allow anything that's going on with my twin in their life to affect the way that I react to my truth and the things that I have been through. And so I think that this reading is going to be for many of you taking off this false mask, and finally embracing that you're actually on a twin flame journey with this person, and whether you're with them or not, you're still being put through a lot of life lessons, a lot of soul lessons that it's helping you to grow. It's helping you to look at life a lot differently than most people in your community. And if you guys really embrace this twin flame journey, refrain from getting into that space where you, because things don't work out romantically, they're with somebody else, you know, whatever circumstances end up occurring, don't let that shift the truths that you've seen and the gifts that you have currently developing on the journey, okay? Because sometimes when we shut our twin flame out, our gifts end up suffering as well because we're not really embracing. We put back on that mask and it's like we lose all of our twin flame powers, because when we take off that mask, fuck the twin flame journey, we're not on it, blah, 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 even though we still come back and we watch the readings and we're still holding space for this person, you know, that's wearing a false mask. You've got to take off that mask and truly embrace it, so that way if your person is off on their own path doing their own thing, you're still ascending, you're still growing. And if many of you can manage to do that, because you're seeing life a lot differently than most people in your community, many of you will start coming out as spiritual leaders, planting new seeds of consciousness for people. Depending on what your twin flame journey brings to the table, many of you may be able to help out others in your community, even in an online community, on how to navigate a specific area of life, just because of your expertise on this journey and the things that many of you have been through. So if you guys are feeling like you're in a dark place, you're suffering, take that mask off, because what I feel like many of you are suffering with is, if things don't pan out romantically with your masculine, it means you're not on this twin flame journey. And that in itself can be very confusing, because you're fighting against what your soul knows as the truth. Yes, this is someone who you're meant to be on this path with. You know, when we try shutting that off, we put on this false mask. The journey and the ride itself becomes very uncomfortable. We tend to stay in that dark night of soul even longer than we have to, right? That's why it's so tough, but to move forward, you have to harbor forgiveness in your heart. You know, you have to look at the way that you react to things rather than blaming outwards. So that's what I feel is coming up here. Many of your masculines are feeling a lot of passion here for you. Okay, they know that there is a connection here. And I feel like this deception, you know, can sometimes be your masculines as well when they decide to run. And it's like the false mask is coming up because you have passion and soulmate, right? And I think that the passion card is here because I do feel for many of us, yes, like it's when we get into that place of separation, it hurts, because now you want to try to move on and move forward and erase this person from your memory and your life. And love is not like a light switch. You can't just turn it on and off. So even when our twin decides to do something that triggers us, instead of projecting blame, you're not my twin flame, sometimes we have to look at the way that we are reacting, okay? And I don't know why that's coming through again, like repetitively like that, but I just feel like, you know, many of us are going to be taking a really good look at how it is we respond and where that's coming from, okay? And many of us are going to be practicing detachment in 2024. And that's just another message that I've been getting, that as like a reoccurring thought. Detachment is going to be a big theme in 2024. And I think that for many of you, it's going to help the journey unravel into something even more meaningful and even deeper, because those of us that are holding on right now with this deception card here coming out, we're still stuck in a loop with our counterpart. So it's like we come together, it's really, really passionate, it feels like a twin flame, but then boom, separation happens because of some kind of deception. You know, and then it passes, and then when you guys reconnect, instead of talking about things, you let it go because you're just so happy to be in reunion again, that the same cycles end up occurring, okay? So 2024, I feel for many of us is going to be like, it's going to be confrontational, but not in a bad way. I just feel like many twins, specifically the divine feminines, are going to be stepping a lot more into their truth, and it's going to cause, you know, certain towers to fall, and even like the I'm hearing the word rattle, so like something rattling here in order for this deception here to come up. You guys are on this journey together. Like I feel like you guys are going to start feeling less triggered by each other come 2024, and that's going to make moving this twin flame journey along a lot more easier, because everyone's going to be dealing with their own triggers versus projecting it onto another person. Okay, let's see what this card here says about the outcome for both of you. Okay, and we do have the Six of Pentacles here coming up. You know, balance, because, you know, there's a scale here. Persevering through this energy of chasing, okay? Because the way that they're asking for the crumbs and the way that the other person is feeding it to them, I feel like this whole chasing energy is going to be over. Like getting very little for your efforts. Always feeling like one of you has, you know, the upper hand. And that's why this deception card here is coming up, right? Like I feel that, okay, for deception and this whole push and pull thing that I'm feeling, it has a lot to do with karmic situations for many of you, okay? And I know it's really triggering when I talk about it in my videos, for people to understand that if someone is in a third party with someone else, you have to be the one to detach and to let go, right? Because you don't ever want to put a person in a position where you force them to leave someone else. Because think about it, they're going to need that closure after leaving that relationship. So if you're in a third party situation and you're waiting for your twin to leave that person to come to you, it doesn't work that way. And that's probably why you guys keep going in cycles, or one person can't seem to get out of it. It's because your person has to get out of that karmic relationship on their own organically, and there will be a period of alone time, solitude, healing before union can occur between you two. And it's like, I feel like if you guys can't see that, then you're going to be going in loops. You know, many of us are waiting on the sidelines for our twin to leave a certain relationship and just kind of come towards you. But that relationship, it's going to experience a loss. Every time you have a relationship end with someone, it's like you experience a sense of loss. And I think that they're going to need time to heal that loss, right? And that's why I feel like the Six of Pentacles here is coming through. 6 is a number of perseverance, okay? And aside from, you know, because this is more focused for a reading that's more focused for twin flames, you know, for me, Pentacles itself is earth energy. It's very fixed energy. It's grounded energy, okay? And what I'm getting through just the image here on the card is there needs to be balance in the connection with the scales being held up, and nobody needs to feel like they are chasing or having to beg for this relationship, right? And there's no judgment here, but I've done so many personal readings where, you know, I've had to kind of address this with a lot of the feminine collective, where it's like, you know, we don't wait and we don't plead and we don't beg and we don't send text messages that are like novels and paragraphs to people wanting their love, asking for their love, asking why they can't change, why can't they? No, we sit and we attract and we receive what we are worthy of. Okay, so for many of us who are dealing with that whole third party dynamic, and you're just wondering, like, why do I keep getting caught in these loops? Many of your masculines can oftentimes make promises, right? I'm going to leave that relationship. I'm going to leave that situation. You know, they're in communication with you, yet they're with another person. You know, like, if you stay, you're not letting your masculines take accountability for the situation that they're in. You know, and they're going to keep going into that loop, right? It takes the divine feminine to stand up and draw that healthy boundary, you know, have this beautiful, healthy seed ready to be fertilized by the masculine. But if it's not a healthy seed, it's going to kind of keep them in that whole, you know, cycle, right? Like, what you give is what you get. If you are agreeable to communication with your person while you know that there's a third party involved, then you never really give them any reason to want to leave that situation, because now they're getting their cake and eating it too, right? Like, what's the reason to walk away or to leave? They're still getting your, you know, attention and you wanting them, but there's part of you, divine feminine, that needs something, that needs that trigger within you to say, what in me would ever want to stay and something like that, you know, because sometimes we could be like, my masculine, they won't leave, but we have to stop as feminines and take accountability, especially with the Six of Pentacles here, and persevere, right? Ground ourselves back into our own energy and really take a good look at what it is we're doing. And look at them, they're literally on their knees kind of begging for these crumbs here. And, you know, we have that scale there of balance needing to take place. The balance is when we stand up and stand within our power, and we say to ourselves, you know, what part of me wants that? What is it within me that is okay with that? And once you guys can really dig into the nitty-gritty of that question, believe me, detachment is going to be so easy, because you know you're doing something that is beneficial for yourself on the journey. And believe me, guys, you'll experience so much growth in so many other areas of your lives as well, where you need that voice and you need to take control and you need to take back that accountability and start saying, okay, where do I need to shift and change in order for those things to stop happening to me? Okay, and I know in the Divine Feminine reading, which I'll be doing more of, I've created a playlist last night, and I'll continue to push more feminine messages out there about, you know, just taking accountability and looking at, you know, what role we're currently playing in a situation. If something bad is happening to us, rather than projecting blame, we're going to put it back on us and say, okay, what am I doing wrong? What can I do right to rid myself or get out of this situation so that I can start thriving. And by having the courage now to start taking accountability, it's like life is going to be running so much more smoothly for many of us. All right. So I don't know who this was for. I hope it was helpful. You guys take it easy, and I'll catch you with the next reading. Okay. Bye, guys.